Good evening, Healthy Picks family. This will be our first video on our YouTube page. What better time than now? It's March Madness, and we're here to break down the tournament, okay? So I'm going to go break down game for game, team for team, okay? And then at the end of the video, I'm going to show you guys my complete filled out bracket, okay? Only games I won't be picking a winner for are games that we're actually going to be giving out picks for in the first round, okay? So let's start in the East region. We got Duke playing the winner of NC Central and North Dakota State. North Carolina Central's coach already said he wants no part of Zion Williamson. So what does that tell you? Duke will be moving on without a doubt in the first round, okay? Duke will be playing the winner of VCU and UCF. A big factor in this game is the health of Marcus Evans. Will he be healthy coming into this game? Regardless, I think UCF has too much. Taco Fall, B.J. Taylor, Aubrey Dawkins, way too much for VCU to handle. I think they'll slow the tempo down, and they'll come out with the W, okay? Next, we have a 5-12 matchup, Mississippi State and Liberty. A lot of people are calling for an upset in this game. I don't think so. I think Q Weatherspoon and Lamar Peters will get the job done, okay? High-octane offense for Mississippi State. Next, we have Virginia Tech and St. Louis. St. Louis actually won the A-10 tournament over St. Bonaventure. Very good defensive team, but I think the return of Justin Robinson will propel Virginia Tech to a W. Okay. Then we have 6 seed Maryland playing the winner of Belmont Temple. I won't give a winner to that Belmont Temple game because that's actually one of our picks tomorrow night. But what I will say, whoever Maryland does play, they'll win. Bruno Fernando's too much down low. Anthony Cowan's one of the best point guards in the country. Next, we have 3 seed LSU taking on Yale. A lot of people are calling for an upset here. I know LSU is dealing with a lot of off-the-court issues with Will Wade still being suspended. But I think LSU has way too much talent for Yale. LSU will move on. Next, we have 7 seed Louisville taking on 10 seed Minnesota. This is actually a funny matchup because Rick Pitino, we know, used to coach Louisville, and his son is now the coach of Minnesota. I actually really like Minnesota in this game. I think Amir Coffey and Jordan Murphy, the veteran presence and leadership, will definitely be able to get Minnesota a W over Louisville. Next, we have 2 seed Michigan State playing against Bradley. Michigan State's fresh off a Big Ten tournament championship. They should be able to move on without any problem over Bradley. Okay? We're going to move down to our first round games in West Region. Gonzaga taking on the winner of Fairleigh Dickinson and Prairie View. Gonzaga should be able to move on without any problem. Next game is 8 seed Syracuse taking on 9 seed Baylor. I won't pick a winner for this game, but I'll break it down for you guys, okay? You know what? I'm going to give you guys winners of all the games, even though some of these are our picks, okay? I really, really like Syracuse in this game. Tyus Battle should be back for this game. And I think the zone of Syracuse will slow Baylor down, okay? Also, pay attention to Franklin Howard, okay? I think he will be able to definitely show his leadership, and the three-point shooting of Elijah Hughes is definitely something to watch on. Next, we have Marquette and Murray State, one of my favorite games of the first round. Ja Morant versus Marcus Howard. It's going to be a showdown, okay? But I think that the supporting cast of Marquette will propel them to a win. Sam Hauser and Joey Hauser, definitely a great supporting cast. So we have Marquette moving on, okay? Next, we have 4 seed Florida State taking on 13 seed Vermont. A lot of people are calling for this upset. I don't think so. I think Florida State comes in motivated after the loss to Duke in the ACC championship, and I think Florida State takes care of business. Next, we have 6 seed Buffalo taking on 11 seed, the winner of Arizona State and St. John's. I think St. John's will beat Arizona State in the first 4 game on Wednesday night. Shamori Pons will be the best player on the court. I think St. John's will get the W. Then I think St. John's will move on, and they will beat Buffalo. I'm calling it here. St. John's, the 11 seed, will beat Buffalo in the first round, and they'll move on. St. John's has a lot of options on offense. Mustafa Heron, Shamori Pons. I think they'll move on. Next, we have 3 seed Texas Tech taking on 14 seed Northern Kentucky. I really like Texas Tech not only in this game but in their bracket. So I think they'll take care of business. Jared Culver, looking like a first-round lottery pick. They'll get the job done. Next, we have 7 seed Nevada against 10 seed Florida. I think Nevada got a real bad draw in the bracket. I think Florida will win this game. They could have had a chance to win the SEC tournament if it wasn't for a bad call against Auburn. I think Florida will slow the tempo down and pay attention to freshman point guard Andrew Nembhard. He's one of the best freshman point guards that's at least talked about in the country. Doesn't commit that many turnovers, slows the game down and makes good decisions. Hard to stop in the pick and roll. Last but not least, in the West region, we have 2 seed Michigan against 15 seed Montana. It's funny because they played last year in the first round. Michigan moves on without a problem. Okay, we're going to move to our first round games in the South region. We have number 1 seed Virginia versus 16 seed Gardner-Webb. Don't worry, Virginia will not be upset again by a 16 seed. They will move on. We have an 8-9 matchup of Mississippi and Oklahoma. I love the guard play in Mississippi. Terrence Davis, Brennan Tyree. They'll be able to get the win over Oklahoma. Okay? Then we have a tricky game, a 12 seed Oregon, which a lot of people are high on right now after a good weekend, against 5 seed Wisconsin. Oregon plays great defense, and they have players like Lewis King who put the ball in the basket, and they have Peyton Pritchard who was a part of the Final Four team. With all that being said, I'm going to go with Wisconsin. Ethan Happ's too much to handle, okay? Next, we have 4 seed Kansas State against 13 seed UC Irvine. A lot of people are calling for this upset. Me, I don't believe so. I think Kansas State's able to get the job done with or without Dean Wade, okay? Next, we have 6 seed Villanova against 11 seed St. Mary's. For Villanova, it's plain and simple. If they hit their threes, they're going to have a good NCAA tournament. If they don't make their threes, it could be first round exit. It could be a second round exit. But I think they move on against St. Mary's, who was able to beat Gonzaga to punch a ticket. Next, we have 3 seed Purdue against 14 seed Old Dominion. This is my first upset I'm calling. Got a chance to watch Old Dominion throughout the season. Very good defensive team, and they have a player I want you to keep your eyes on. BJ Stitt, okay? Player of the year in this conference. Can definitely put the ball in the hole. They have a point guard, Ahmad Caver, real good point guard, big shot maker, and they know how to win close games. So that's the upset I'm calling right now. Old Dominion will beat Purdue. For Purdue, it's simple. If Carson Edwards isn't hitting his shots, it's going to be a long night. They don't have too many threats on the offensive end. Next, we have 7 seed Cincinnati against 10 seed Iowa. I think Cincinnati might bully Iowa, okay? I think they're going to take them out back and teach them a lesson. So I'm going with Cincinnati. Next, we have 2 seed Colgate versus 15. We have 2 seed Tennessee versus 15 seed Colgate. Tennessee moves on without a problem. Trust me, they're coming into this tournament very motivated after an embarrassing loss to Auburn, okay? Moving on to our last region, the Midwest first round games, we have North Carolina against Iona. North Carolina will move on without no problem. A very good 8-9 game. Utah State versus Washington. Okay? I think Washington's defense takes over in that game. But pay attention to Sam Merrill from Utah State. Very good player, very good shooter. We have 5 seed Auburn taking on 12 seed New Mexico State. I think Auburn's offense is a little too much for them. They might shoot literally 53s in that game. So if they're having a good night, this game could get out of hand. Next, we have 14 seed Kansas taking on 13 seed Northeastern. A lot of people are calling for this upset. Me, I don't believe so. I think Kansas will take care of business. Bill Self will get his team motivated for this game, okay? Next, we have 6 seed Iowa State against 11 seed Ohio State. Iowa State has way too many weapons and way too much offense for Ohio State. Pay attention to Lindell Wigington off the bench. Can come in and get buckets immediately. Mario Shayok, transfer from Virginia, big shot maker. And Cameron Lard off the bench is an X factor. Next, we have 3 seed Houston against 14 seed Georgia State. Houston will handle them with no problem. Next, we have 7 seed Wofford against 10 seed Seton Hall. This is going to be a very entertaining game, but I think the leadership and will to win by Miles Cheese Powell from Seton Hall. one of the best players in the tournament. He'll get his team a W. Okay. Last game of the first round, we have Kentucky against Abilene Christian. Kentucky will be way too much for them. Calipari will have his team motivated. And P.J. Washington is having one of the best seasons out of anybody in the country, okay? So,